Hello traders, welcome back to another watchlist video. With some hiccups, market successfully kept its bullish momentum. But how long it will last? Well, that's the main question here. We are through some major earnings and all the important stuff. While doing the market analysis, I found out that most of the stocks are either in overbought territory or moving close to it. Also, I noticed that the upward momentum of the market is kind of slowing down, which is normally called as a buyer exhaustion in traders' term. So from this point on, I would like to pay attention to pullback signals. The pullback in big tech players such as Microsoft and Amazon, movement of oil and dollar index will provide us the necessary signal of market reversal. I am not so bullish on this market despite the recent bull run because global and local economical conditions are not suitable for a sustainable bull run for a longer period of time. I want to stay cash heavy in upcoming months for that, and to be honest, I sold some of my portfolio in this bull run. Please do your own research and take your own decision. As always, I am just here sharing my opinion and what I did. So that was my overall brief market analysis. Now let's start with individual stocks. Starting with the Nasdaq, inverse head and shoulder that I mentioned in my previous video is still in play as we broke the 13,000 barrier with ease at the current level of 13,228.75. Watch for 13,669.25, which is this level, for a retest and possible rejection. If we broke through that, then next target will be 14,000 level. Now the 14,000 will provide a stronger resistance and will be difficult to break. So that's the ultimate level we need to watch for Nasdaq. Moving on to S&P 500, it's look very much similar to Nasdaq but looks a little bit weak compared to Nasdaq. Now we broke above 4,000 level barrier and now we are moving to the heavy resistance zone, which I marked here in this red rectangle. That zone is between 41.75 to 42.30. At the max, we can see 4,300 retest and rejection. That is this level. Let me mark it over here. This level. Either we can retest, come back, or we can hover chop over here and then breakdown. Moving on to VIX. VIX dropped massively and it is retesting 21 level. Below that 1950 will be the next level to watch for. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but VIX is kind of like consolidating in this 21-22 range, which means like breakout is near and it could pop to 24, which is around here. Dixie, or the dollar index. Now dollar index, this is a little bit more interesting. In my previous video I mentioned that the pullback in the dollar and how it causes the rally in the stock market, as both of them are inversely correlated. Now if you see here, see the dollar move along with VIX, it is also consolidating around 105-106 range. Also it is forming a bull flag and might pop out to 110 and above. If that happens, then we can see a substantial pullback in a stock market. If you want to see that inverse correlation, here it is. If you see, whenever the dollar index falls, we get a rally in the stock market. Whenever we get a bull run in the dollar index, we see substantial pullback or the sideways or the choppy action in the stock market. So both are inversely correlated, so have that relationship in the mind. Also keep an eye on the dollar index if you can before starting your trading day. So the first, after this indices, first stock in our watch list is Apple. Apple is still pushing strong despite its earning and dividend payout. Now Apple can play out in two ways. Either it can move to 170 and rejection from there, or it can get rejected from its current level, retest back again to this 1 163, and if we broke through that, then it is highly possible that it will fill this gap between 159 to 157. We were in a strong bull run recently, and it's overdue for a pullback. Everything has done. Now the payment date for the dividend payout is on 11th, so probably till that time we might chop in sideways or might retest this 167, probably towards, if possible, if we get a strong push in the market, 170 is not that far off, but those levels will be the ultimate level for Apple to pull back substantially. Applied Material, after the big tech earnings, the next big thing is semiconductors earning. AMD had its earning and shoot about 100, and others are following one by one. Applied Material has its earning on 18th. Before earning, it can move between 112 to 120. This is the zone that I marked here. It's not close to 120, so let me just increase it a little bit. So yeah, here it is. So 112 to 120, and the next move will depend entirely on its earning. But before its earning, it can either chop here or break through this resistance zone over here. Next one is Amazon. Amazon moved a lot last week despite missing its earnings per share. It looks like its bull strength is wearing off, and if it cracked below 138, which is somewhere around here, then it can quickly retest the 135 level, which is right over here, and below that we need to see if it can fill this gap between 132 to 123. There is a huge gap to fill, so keep an eye on Amazon for how it breaks down. Basically, Boeing ran up, and that run up was on the bad earnings, but it looks like it's ready for the pullback. One thing to notice about Boeing, it always behave in opposite direction of the entire market move, and that happens quite a lot. So please be careful. If you see a market pullback, don't expect that BA will give you that same pullback. It might run up. So despite that, watch for the gap fill between 162 to 160 if pullback happened. If it can hold 158 level, then it might create a bull pennant and break out to 170. So right now we are seeing a small bull pennant over here. If we broke through that, 170, 171 is possible. 174 will be the ultimate. At that time it will retest this previous support zone as a resistance. Let me mark that right over here. Beyond Meat, it ran up on a bad earnings. It is one of the highly shorted stocks, so short squeeze might possible. That short squeeze is not going to be substantial as we saw with the GameStop and AMC. It might push it up beyond $41 towards 48 and probably towards the 50. Just keep an eye on this one. It's better to play this type of stocks towards the downside, because you never know when the rug pull can happen. CME Group looking bullish. Dividend payout on 27th, so watch for the retest of 205. Is forming this bullish flag over here, so 205 and beyond that 210 to 11 can be possible if market kept its momentum. Chipotle ran almost like $200 after earning, leaving a big fat gap to fill between 1387 to 1433. Watch for the rejection from the 1622 to retest 1600 pretty quickly. I'm targeting this level. If we broke through that, then the next level will be 1689. Can be possible, but we got a rejection from here, and this level act as a previous support, and a rejection, one more rejection over here. So it's entirely possible that we might break through it or pull back down. So watch this 1622 level very closely. Costco, rising wage and leaning towards the bearish side. Dividend payout will be on 12th, so expect a chop till that date. Otherwise it might retest the 560 and pull back 560, 553, and then pull back towards 520, 522. Carvana moved about 45 on bad earnings, similar to Beyond Meat. Wait, let me check if BYND had bad earnings. Yes, they had. Carvana, same thing. It's a losing business. They are losing tons and tons of money maintaining their inventory, and car market is collapsing, so everything is looking bad for them. Still, despite the bad earnings, they got a nice push, so we just need to see if it can convert into the short squeeze similar to BYND or GME AMC. But other than that, like, watch for this zone like between 58 to around 66. This is a heavy resistance zone that it might get rejection from these levels, either of this level, or chop in between this range and come down again. Disney will report their earnings on 10th August, and it is looking nice for now as it is forming this inverse head and shoulder. So watch for the pullback towards 100 for the retest, and it will bounce up because we broke through that 100 level. We pull back a little bit, then bounce back again. Now I think like if it can pull back again, it will form its right shoulder and then it will move up if earnings are good. Let's see, nothing changed from the last video. Still in overbought territory. Watch for the retest and rejection from 114. If we can hold this 114, then the next level will be 125. Fortinet after one split, and despite a good earning, Fortinet dropped on a poor guidance, so watch if it can hold this 53-55 level. Otherwise, if it couldn't hold that level, then the retest of 50 is possible, and if it broke through that level, then it can straight come down to 40 level, because there is nothing much in between. There is a huge vacuum of volume, so it can quickly come back down, retest, and then make it another move towards 45-48. Home Depot retail stocks will report their earnings in next week. Home Depot will report it on 16. So it broke its downward channel and moved beyond 300 before earning. Watch for it move towards the 321, and let's see how it moves on its earning. LYFT, another heavily shorted stock, and on a solid earning it moved up a lot with two gaps to fill, like between 15 and 14 or 1391, and there is a small gap, another small gap between 1750 to 1830. Watch for level 2163 for a possible rejection, or we might get a rejection at the beginning of this gap fill, which is around 2257. And it is this type of parabolic moves are not sustainable for a longer period of time unless it converts into the short squeeze and squeeze even higher, similar to Beyond Meat and Carvana. So just keep an eye on this one. Next one is Netflix. Netflix is forming a bullish pennant right over here, and it might break above that to retest this gap fill around 250. If it start entering into the gap, start filling this gap, then watch for the 266 level for the first resistance. I think we might get a pullback, strong pullback from either of this level, coming down and retesting 223 level once again if the market pull back. Nucor has inverse head and shoulder similar to Disney, so watch for the retest of 120 or 115 before moving higher. NVDA, all eyes are on NVIDIA's earning, which they will report on 24th August. Expect a pullback before earning towards 178.62, and on a good earnings it can break above 200. Also, we broke through this downward channel nicely and we are holding it above that, so if we retest this downward trend line and if we get a good earning, then that will be a solid catalyst for it to move towards 200. ORCL had a nice triangle breakout, which is a kind of like a bullish pennant, but sometimes it break towards the bearish side as well. So watch for pullbacks towards 73 from its current level, because you can see it's consolidating over here. If it can break above this 77, then the next level will be around 80. Otherwise, pullback towards the 74 will be healthy. At that point it will form this small head and shoulder, so it might bounce back towards, let's say, 76 and then pull back again. That pullback will be a stronger, because at that point it will complete the right shoulder and pull back even further. Pin Duo is forming a bull flag, and watch for the breakout above 52 moving towards 56 and beyond that 60. Plug Power earnings on the 9th August, and based on its current move, I think the market is pricing into in its earning. It has started moving through this heavy resistance zone, which is between 25 to 27. So watch for a solid pullback if their earnings are not that good to retest this gap fill, which starts from 19 to 1774. RBLX has their earning on 9th, and Meta's earning were not that good, and it might reflect on RBLX as well. With the current move, it seems like the market has already priced in its earning move, so don't be surprised if it dropped to 36. If not, if we break through this 50 and hold it, then either it can start filling this gap between 50 to 66 or moved up on earning reports, retest this 58 level and come back down, retesting this 51 level, where that level will act as a support, and then it will bounce back even higher. Altasian, it missed on EPS by 0.001%, which is not that significant. Expect a retest of 280 followed by a pullback towards 258 to 56. Below 250, it will attempt to fill this gap, which is between 245 to 230. Target will report its earning on 17th. The earnings will be the significant as the retail sector already seeing a slowdown. On a bad earnings, it can drop below 150, but on the flip side, it can push towards 168 or 180, and it might start filling the gap. So let's see what happens on their earning, because after Target there is a Walmart, and if Target's earning are not that good, then it will reflect on Walmart as well. And the last one is Tesla. I was expecting Tesla to push beyond 950, but we stuck with this 939.40 level. We couldn't break through it, got a massive pullback on Friday, and that pullback covered almost like $60 worth of move, and we broke through this like 873 hold. So right now we are moving towards this zone, which was a previous resistance zone, now turning into support zone between 843 to 826. So expect a quick move towards 823, hover over here a little bit, and then based on market condition it can either broke north or south, so we just need to watch out for that one. So there you go guys, another video wrapped up. It was a bit lengthy because I had to cover a few more stocks that look interesting or has set up to take a trade on. If you gain any value from this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel, because it means a lot to me. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and have a good day.